Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Monday the 10th of July. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. Some 10 children are among 37 Haitians who landed at Boston Beach in Portland this afternoon in a sailboat. The children are believed to be below the age of 9. The Haitians appeared to be in good health and medical teams are scheduled to arrive to conduct screening. The police are currently monitoring the situation. The Haitians reportedly complained about being hungry and were fed by residents of the Boston community. More from a surfer who rendered assistance.
It's roughly about, not sure the time, I wasn't checking the time, but maybe like something after 1 p.m. today, and yeah, it's a pleasure to help them. And
so you said the boat was smelly?
Yeah.
And there was water there?
Yeah, there were a lot of water inside of the boat.
What else did you see?
So there were water inside the boat, a lot of wet up clothes, and they were all look tired. 3 days, that's what he told me. They were traveling for 3 days. It's my first time. I always growing up, I always hear my dad and my mom and people around the community say the Asian boat always coming. But it's my first time really experience this and see it happen in reality. I felt good and it felt bad because you know you have kids there and you don't know why the purpose they're traveling or what they want to do. I see it's just a glimpse. I see one of the guys with his working through with a level. So meaning they just seeking better, leaving their country. And I think it's good. My little help for maybe half an hour was good enough. That's all I can do. I didn't get too close. I was just like helping out where I can.
A joint operation involving the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch CTOC, and the Police Narcotics Division led to the arrest of 7 individuals, including 3 suspected drug traffickers in Hanover on Sunday night. The raid resulted in the seizure of approximately 9 kilograms of cocaine with an estimated street value of $14 million. The drugs was found hidden in food packaging. Along with the drugs, a significant amount of cash, electronic devices, and a motor vehicle were also confiscated during the operation. The operation targeted a suspected drug trafficker wanted for questioning in connection with multiple local and international drug trafficking offenses. A turner representing embattled dancehall DJ Jashi, King's Counsel Peter Champini, is taking issue with the comments made by Senior Superintendent of Police Marlon Nesbitt, suggesting his client was bad for business. In a Gleaner article on the weekend, the commanding officer for the St. Andrew Central Police Division advised promoters to consult with the police before booking the artist due to grave security concerns.
The comment by the Senior Superintendent that persons wishing to book Jashi must first speak to the police, citing grave security concerns, is most unfortunate because one has to be careful of statements of these kinds because it has the implication of suggesting that there may be, not deliberately so, but an attempt to stifle his economic livelihood. And one wonders whether or not, in the context of all of this, if the individual was not him, and let us say a businessman that was targeted, whether or not such a statement would be made in respect of a businessman's operation in terms of, economic livelihood. So one has to be very careful in terms of the statement. And that's very unfortunate because as I understand it, the police's mandate is to not only reassure and to serve, but also to protect. And it may be viewed as an indictment upon them. One has to be candid in the circumstances and admit that it would have some negative implications. But I think that his management team and certainly himself, and bearing in mind his talent, I think it will rise above this. And as I said before, just now, his focus is on developing and promoting his craft and at the same time seeking to promote peace.
The lawyer also confirmed that Jashi visited the police on Friday and was subsequently interviewed and released. He was not detained, They just wanted to speak to him about the shooting incident on Friday, Champini said. The police are probing the stabbing death of a man who was allegedly attacked by another following a reported dispute over a woman in Mandeville on Saturday morning. The police have not yet released the identity of the victim. A senior police source said that the two men were reportedly embroiled in an argument when sharp instruments were drawn and used to inflict wounds on each other. The men were taken to hospital where one was pronounced dead and the other admitted. Two men were fighting over a woman. They stabbed each other. They were taken to hospital by citizens. One died and the other is in critical condition, said the police source. The incident happened around 7 a.m. behind a plaza in the vicinity of Plaza Road and Perth Road. The area is popularly known for prostitution. Winston Williams, one of Jamaica's renowned broadcasters for several decades, died on Sunday morning. It is understood that he passed away at the Kingston Public Hospital after a brief illness. Williams, the self-proclaimed conscious one, started his broadcasting career at Radio Jamaica in 1963. He then did a stint at ZNS in the Bahamas, hosting a popular show, Music to Remember. He returned to Jamaica in 1967 to host the popular JBC afternoon show, going head-to-head with Radio Jamaica's Don Topping, after which he alternated between the two rival stations on several occasions. He closed his career of more than half a century in media a few years ago, with his retirement from on-air duties on Power 106 FM. The Whip, as he was also known to many, is considered one of the pioneers of Jamaican radio. An 18-year-old soon-to-be mother has been arrested over the stabbing death of a 31-year-old man Saturday night in Mount Oak district in Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew. The deceased is Ryan West. Reports are that about 8:15 p.m., West was stabbed with a knife during a dispute with the woman. The police say the two lived at the same location and the deceased was once in a relationship with the accused's aunt. The two had an initial confrontation where West allegedly held on to the suspect's neck. She reportedly managed to free herself and ran to a house where she armed herself with a knife. The stabbing reportedly took place during a second altercation after the two met in a walkway leading to their yard. West collapsed and was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was pronounced dead. It is understood that a knife, believed to be the murder weapon, was retrieved from the scene. A review of parliamentary records have revealed that 41% of legislators in Jamaica's lower house had below average attendance at sittings last year. 2 legislators attended fewer than 5 of the 53 meetings held. Over half of the 26 legislators below average attendance did not attend 20 or more sittings. The Prime Minister Andrew Holness attended 29 sittings and missed 23, offering apologies for his absences. The opposition leader Mark Golding attended 37 sittings and missed 14, also providing apologies. The issue of attendance comes as Holness seeks to establish an accountability framework for MPs, including financial penalties for unexcused absences. However, some argue that focusing solely on attendance overlooks the need for meaningful contributions and deeper democratic engagement. The prolonged absence of 2 legislators, Mike Henry and Peter Phillips, due to illness raises concerns about the party's interests over constituents' needs. There are calls for legislative changes, including specific timelines for by-elections and a focus on quality representation rather than just attendance. 14-year-old burn patient Akelia Dunkley has undergone 4 successful surgeries in the United States and is expected to return to Jamaica within 4 to 6 weeks. She has been receiving medical treatment at the Joseph M. Still Burn Center in Augusta, Georgia. Dunkley suffered mostly second-degree burns affecting 50% of her body due to a gas stove explosion at her home in burnt Savannah, St. Elizabeth. The Burn Center's president, Dr. Zaid Hassan, provided an update on Dunkley's progress, stating that he will require 1 more surgery, a dressing change, and the removal of staples from her legs during the acute phase of her treatment. However, he believes that she will not need further surgeries unless there are complications with the grafts. In the future, laser surgery may be considered for significant scarring. The Montego Bay police are probing the death of 59-year-old Veral Filinar, a shopkeeper of Cedar Hill, Somerton, St. James, who was shot and killed on Sunday. Reports are that about 7 a.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. During a check by a police team, Filinar was seen clad in a white merino and blue jeans pants, lying face down in a pool of blood with bullet wounds to the head and upper body. He was transported to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. 3 People's National Party councillors in Western Westmoreland have resigned effective today over the recent selection of Ian Hales as the party's candidate for the next general election. Ian Miles of the Little London Division, Garfield James of the Sheffield Division, and Lawton Mackenzie of the Grange Hill Division this morning told reporters at a press conference that they will now serve as independent councillors. They stated that they will not work with Hales and do not support the party's decision. They also accused the party of poor leadership. Hales' selection came weeks after a massive protest against him by PNP supporters in Little London Square. In business, the government has affirmed that it is looking to promote fair competition in the liquefied petroleum gas industry. Energy Minister Darrell Vaz said last week that the LPG working group was established a year ago to put together a draft code of conduct. About 80% of the local LPG market is held by Gaspro, a subsidiary of Trinidad-based Massey Group. This increased market share came as the company finalized a deal to acquire local LPG and oxygen company IGL. Vaz revealed that legislation is being finalized to govern the industry. The updated law will also allow for the National Regulatory and Compliance Authority to monitor the industry. Vaz revealed that 86% of households in Jamaica use LPG. In sports, the Reggae Boys qualified for their 4th Gold Cup semi-final in 5 tournaments after beating Guatemala 1-0 in their quarter-final at the TQL Stadium in Ohio yesterday. Amari Bell delivered the crucial strike in the 51st minute to put the Jamaicans in the last 4, where they will face Mexico on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Sportsman of the Year Rashid Broadbell believes that the national record of 12.90 seconds that he's aiming for is within reach, even after smashing his personal best and setting a new world lead for the event weeks before the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Broadbell won his first national 110-meter hurdles title, clocking at 12.94 seconds. In the weather forecast, a plume of Saharan dust is expected to affect the island this week. It has the potential to influence air quality and should raise an alarm for people who suffer from asthma, dust-related allergies, sinusitis, or other respiratory illnesses. The phenomenon, which is common during the summer months, can also result in harmful heat stress-related impacts on animals and plants. And on the entertainment scene, TJ has drifted his way to become the summer campaign brand ambassador for Flow. Just last November, the Montego Bay native was named a brand ambassador for Youth for Excellence, a non-profit organization that provides opportunities for underprivileged children and their families in the United States and some Caribbean countries, including Jamaica and Barbados. Currently managed by Sharon Burke's Solid Agency, he signed publishing and record deals with Warner Music Group and Warner Records last month and has an upcoming album titled I Am Trippy. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.